So, what others think of you is really none of your business, right? And I know I can already hear you saying, "Well, of course it is. It's about me. They're talking about me. Why wouldn't it be my business? How can I sit and let somebody talk about me?" Well, you can, because if you understand why people do what they do, and if you understand the motivation and thought process and intention behind why people do what they do, it kind of becomes easy to detach yourself from reacting to people talking about you versus responding, right? So let's break it down. And this brings me back to the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So, Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, talks about one of the agreements is don't take things personally, right? And he explains beautifully that, when people, every person is the hero or heroine of their own movie, right? In their own life. So, have you ever had a conversation with a friend and you were talking about something important and all of a sudden they jumped in and they made it all about them? In anyone you talk to, this is really basic human nature. You know, we are the main characters of our movie, of our film, right? Of our life. And so everything that happens, it revolves around us. And so if that is the truth, if that is true for us, that is true for everyone else. So that's number one. So let's understand that we are all the main characters, the main hero or heroine of our movies. And so what everyone else is doing, what other people are doing or thinking, really, honestly, has nothing to do with you or me. They're doing it because that's their own drama that they're creating in their lives, right? But let's specifically talk about gossiping. So, for me, so I recently had an experience where something was said about me quite innocently, and then somehow by the time it came back to me, it became some mirch masala, some gossip was added to it, right? And I kind of laughed about it. It's like I thought it was amusing because number one, obviously my life is more important and more interesting than whoever it is that people are talking about it. Number one. Number two, it wasn't true. And even if it was true, it's nobody's business but mine. Simple, right? And the only people that matter in my life are my family members, my parents, my kids, right? My immediate close knit circle. And they already know who I am and what I'm about, and they'll accept me unconditionally anyway. So their approval is not even necessary, right? But even their approval is, again, within reason because, I cannot, as an individual living this human experience, as a spiritual being living this human experience, I cannot sit here and worry about what people, including my own family members, think of me. I can't. How much energy does that take? And why would I do that? Why does anybody do that? Well, people do that because you need to gain approval. You need to gain acceptance, right? But where does that need come from? That need comes from if you don't accept yourself fully, if you're not okay with who you are and what you're about, and if you're not clear about who you are and what you're about, you're going to constantly go out seeking it outside. And so, what other people say and think of me or you is none of our business, is completely out of our control. But easier for me to say, right? Because I'm at a point where it doesn't matter to me because I don't worry about reputation because people's, opinion of me doesn't change who I am at the core of who I am. I'm still going to be me regardless of people's opinions of me. And the one thing I know for sure, having lived in a community, having lived in society, being a very, outgoing, friendly person, the one thing I know for sure is that no matter what I do or not do, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't approve of me. Number two, they might talk about me, and I'm using me as an example, not that that's actually the case. I'm just using me as an example instead of, putting somebody else out there. No matter, they might talk about me or you or something, a topic today, A couple of days later, they'll find somebody else to talk about or something else to talk about, because great, average minds discuss people, great minds discuss ideas, right? So what difference does it make? Let it go. So this person gave me a call, a very sweet person, gave me a call and said, listen, I'm so sorry. It was brought to my attention that, I said something and I did not say anything, and I don't want you to think that it was me. And I said, first of all, I didn't think it was you. Second of all, even if it was you, what difference does it make? It doesn't matter to me. And third of all, why does it matter? I mean, simple. Why does it matter? And she was quite troubled by it. And she was like, well, we should find out where this came, who is spreading these rumors. And I'm like, really? How many people are you going to go, ask and interview? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Simple as that. Because the truth doesn't change just because of someone's opinion or reflection on it. So let things go, people. Life is too short. Stop worrying about things like what are people saying about me or thinking about me, and just go about business of living your life. As long as you can look in the mirror in the morning, as long as you can answer your higher power and be okay with the decisions you're making, to hell with everybody else. Simple as that. As long as you are okay with that. And that's a hard thing I'm asking. I get it. It's easier said than done. I get it. But truly, I find that, the people who love you will love you regardless, right? And they will accept you regardless. Because unconditional love, true unconditional love, is acceptance of the person just the way they are, right? But then that brings us to this topic of unconditional love versus conditional love. Most of us, unfortunately, love with conditions. We want certain people to behave in a certain way. We need certain people to act in a certain way. Stay in your box, stay in your lane. Do not, do this, don't do this. And if you don't do this or you do this, then I'm going to love you and I'm going to accept and approve of you. If not, I'm not going to. But guys, life's too short. Life's too short. We're all in this together. Live your life. Go with peace. Excuse me. Be happy. Be joyful. Stop worrying about log kya kahenge, what are people going to think? To hell with people. Can you look in the mirror and answer yourself? And are you at peace with yourself? And as long as you can say yes, alhamdulillah, great, wonderful. That's all that matters, people. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, let's discuss ideas, not people. It's one thing to share information for the sake of sharing information, and it's another thing to share information with the intention of gossiping about them. I've done other videos on this. I feel that this is important enough to do another one on it, and I might do some more depending on what comes up in life. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And as always, if this has been helpful, then please go ahead and share. And as always, feel free to inbox me with questions. I'm happy to answer them and reach out to you, to help, to be of service in any way I can. Take care and God bless. Bye.